Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, May 8th, state that Jason Morgan and Dante Falconeri will clash, while Nina Reeves unleashes a furious outburst. Drew Kane will also make a pledge to Tracy Quartermaine, so this is what spectators may expect. In Portia Robinson's office, she will call someone and ask them to switch on the news. Portia may provide Nina with updates on Drew's efforts to mitigate the fallout from his recent controversy. Perhaps Drew will make a public announcement about pursuing the person who drugged him as part of a setup. Whatever the case, Nina will eventually rant to Curtis Ashford, wondering what it will take to finally get rid of Drew. Portia will question Willow Corinthos and try to figure out how much Drew has put together at this stage. Portia will undoubtedly be concerned that her involvement in Jacinda's ploy may come back to haunt her later. Drew will then make an unsettling vow to Tracy, informing her that the person responsible will be brought to justice. Tracy may suspect Drew believes she is responsible, but each viewers know she is innocent for once. Drew appears to believe Tracy and Portia conspired against him, but Nina devised the idea and coerced Portia into it. After Brad assists Drew with another step toward vengeance, it appears that Drew will keep his word on the arrangement and transfer $1 million. From there, Brad will make a decision that will transform his life. Brad may feel as if there is nothing left for him in Port Charles now that Lucas Jones has moved on to Marco Rios. Will Brad leave town now that he's $1 million richer? Of course, Brad may return to work for Selena Wu, but it's understandable that he'd make some predictions about a new beginning elsewhere. Regardless, Brad might make a huge resigning statement at Cheech, since a puzzled Lucas will be wondering, what the hell just happened? Elizabeth Baldwin will interview Isaiah Gannon about what he's been hiding. Isaiah will not discuss Jordan Ashford's mission to assassinate Jen Sidwell, but he may indicate to Liz that his romance with the former deputy mayor isn't going well. Across town, Dante will square off with Jason over the bonfire incident that nearly killed Rocco Falconeri. Jason will learn of Danny Morgan's involvement in what happened, but Dante will say that he blames Jason more than Danny. Later, Dante will tell Sonny Corinthos about the horrible event, while Jason seeks out Danny to lecture him. Danny deserves to be punished for his behavior, thus Jason must be firm with him while yet showing him affection. General Hospital spoilers suggest Jason will have to negotiate this parental crisis without Sam McCall's assistance, which will be difficult for him. The tension in Port Charles had reached a fever pitch, and a confrontation between Jason Morgan and Dante Falconeri was unavoidable. The two guys, both strong-willed and fiercely protective of those they loved, faced off in the middle of the Metro Court Hotel lobby. Unspoken accusations hung in the air, the result of years of smoldering strife. Jason's steely gaze latched onto Dante's, and neither was willing to back down. "You've been pushing this for a long time," Jason remarked, his voice quiet but with a distinct edge. "But you don't know what you're getting into." Dante scoffed and crossed his arms. "I know exactly what I'm dealing with. You think you're untouchable, but the law doesn't care who you are." Jason's jaw constricted. The mention of the law was a sore point. Dante's status as a detective had always been a source of tension between them. Jason had spent years operating outside of the system, but Dante had committed his life to maintaining it. Their conflicting worldviews had resulted in several conflicts, but this time it was personal. "You're not here as a cop right now," Jason clarified. "This is between us." Dante's expression hardened. "It's always between us, isn't it? Because you can't stand the idea that someone might actually hold you accountable." Before Jason could react, a piercing voice broke through the tension. "Enough!" Nina Reeves stormed into the foyer, her normally calm attitude broken by raw passion. Her eyes burned with rage as she glanced at the two men. "I'm sick of this. Both of you, acting like this is some kind of macho standoff while the rest of us are left picking up the pieces." Dante glanced to her, his gaze softening slightly. "Nina, this doesn't concern you." "Like hell it doesn't," she exclaimed. "You think I don't see what's happening? You're both so caught up in your feud that you're ignoring the real damage being done." Jason remained mute, but his posture changed slightly, as if Nina's comments had touched a chord. Nina had always been a wild card, unpredictable and passionate, unwilling to remain silent when she believed injustice was being committed. You don't understand, Dante continued, his voice softer. Nina gave a bitter laugh. Oh, I understand perfectly. You're so determined to prove something that you're willing to destroy everything in the process. She was looking at Jason. And you act like you're above it all, but you're just as guilty. The allegation hung in the air, weighty and unmistakable. For a moment no one spoke. Nina shook her head in frustration and rushed out, leaving the two guys startled. Drew Kane sat in the dimly lit study of the Quartermaine mansion, his mind preoccupied with recent occurrences. Tracy Quartermaine sat across from him, her piercing eyes full of concern and calculation. You've been quiet, she noted. That's never a good sign. Drew inhaled gently and leaned forward. I've been thinking about the future. About what comes next. Tracy lifted her eyebrow. And I've made a decision, he announced, his voice steely. I won't let what happened to me, to us, go unanswered. I owe it to myself, to my family, to make sure justice is served. Tracy's lips formed a slight smile. Justice can be a slippery thing, Drew. Are you sure you're prepared for what that means? Drew returned her look without hesitation. I've spent too long being manipulated, being used as a pawn. That ends now. Whatever it takes, I'm done playing by their rules. Tracy nodded slowly, with a gleam of approval in her eyes. Good. Because if you're serious about this, you'll need allies. And you'll need to be ready for war. Drew did not flinch. I'm ready. The pledge hung between them, a vow that would set off a sequence of events neither of them could completely anticipate. Back at the Metro Court, Jason and Dante remained locked in their confrontation, the weight of Nina's outburst still lingering. This isn't over, Dante stated finally. Jason did not answer immediately. Instead, he cast a glance toward the door where Nina had departed, his eyes flickering with something inscrutable. Then with a slow nod, he returned to Dante. No, he agrees. It's not. The battle lines had been formed, and as the sun sank over Port Charles, it was evident that the impending storm would not spare anyone. While daytime dramas previously dominated the airwaves, there are just 3 shows from the original batch of soaps on cable today, one of which is GH, while Days of Our Lives is now available exclusively on the streaming site Peacock. Beyond the Gates is a CBS soap opera that premiered in February 2025, the first since 1999, and appears to bring hope to the genre. Nonetheless, GH star Maurice Benard recently slammed ABC for their track record of canceling serial operas. Maurice Benard welcomed Cameron Matheson to State of Mind. Cameron Matheson, a fellow GHer, recently appeared on Benard's YouTube program State of Mind. While fans of General Hospital despise Matheson's character, Drew, the actor rose to prominence in daytime drama with his performance as Ryan Lavery on All My Children. Of course, Benard also played Nico Kelly on AMC. The performers enjoyed a pleasant talk, which eventually went to MC's demise. Benard stated that the ABC network made a huge mistake by dropping both AMC and One Life to Live. AMC's last ABC airing was in the fall of 2011, and OLTL's was in early 2012. Does Maurice Benard have a point? Benard went on to remark that the programming ABC replaced the soaps with were short-lived. He also said that at the time, the network underestimated the strength of a soap viewership. Benard also indicated that he feels ABC learned from their error. Matheson also discussed losing his home to the Los Angeles wildfire earlier in 2025, speaking openly about his painful loss on the program. The actor revealed that when his home burned down, he lost almost $2 million. However, the most difficult aspect of it all was losing precious belongings that cannot be replaced. General Hospital spoilers indicate that the next 3 weeks in Port Charles will be chaotic. Willow Corinthos' connection to Drew Kane will increase, and there will be lots of nurses' ball drama. Plus, Dante Falconeri spills a secret to Sonny Corinthos, so let's discuss about what fans may expect in the following 21 days. The week of May 5th to 9th. Cody Bell's heroic moment. General Hospital spoilers for the week of May 5th to 9th hint that Cody Bell will have a heroic moment. So may he save Rocco Falconeri? The child collapsed by the bonfire, so viewers should keep an eye on what occurs next. Furthermore, Lulu Spencer will be grateful for someone's actions, so there's a big probability Cody comes across Rocco at the bonfire college party and swings in for the save. It appears that Rocco will be fine after everything is said and done, but he and Danny Morgan will face some tough love as a result of their act, and hopefully, learn an important lesson. In any case, Danny will receive some tough love from Jason Morgan, and he may be grounded or face consequences. The week of May 5th to 9th. Giovanni Gio Palmieri's legal troubles. Across town, Giovanni Gio Palmieri appears to be an issue with the law, which could lead to some bonfire drama. Would this affect Joe's music studies at PCU? Lois Cerullo will be the first to defend him, but will she be able to help him avoid any charges? Speaking of Gio, Brooklyn Quartermain will receive confusing news. Therefore, there's a risk that this Gio issue may prompt Lois to make a mistake. She's told some serious lies about BLQ's adoption, so she needs to be very careful what she says. There's a big risk Lois will lose her cool during a conversation, which may cause her daughter to raise an eyebrow. Meanwhile, Jocelyn Jack's theft of Emma Scorpio Drake's flash drive improves her chances of landing the research assistant position in the coming week. However, she still has a long way to go before she can convince Professor Henry Hank Dalton to hire her. As the week progresses, Jack Brennan will brief Jocelyn and Vaughn on the WSB mission, so there may be an update on where the agency stands and what else needs to be done. The week of May 5th to 9th. Christina Corinthos Davis attempts to make peace. In other events, General Hospital spoilers for the week of May 5th to 9th indicate that Christina Corinthos Davis will try to make apologies with her mother, Alexis Davis. But will these two ladies reconcile? Furthermore, Dante will tell Sonny about Rocco's drunken beach catastrophe, implying that the mob leader will be there for his son during this difficult time. Brad Cooper will be making a huge life change at the hospital, so may he leave his work there? Nina Reeves will be shocked to learn that Willow has forgiven Drew. Fans should expect Willow to double down on her support for the congressman and their romance. With that said, GH watchers should ready themselves for a dramatic showdown between Willow and Sasha Gilmore Corbin in the coming days. What will these two quarrel over now? Fans must tune in to discover out. Interestingly, Lulu will ask Ned Quartermain, is she looking for further information concerning Brooklyn's adoption? Maybe a little, but this is most likely about Ned's adoption of Leo Quartermain for the tale she is working on, or so she will tell herself in BLQ if found. The week of May 12th to 16th, Lois Sorello attempts to put out fires. According to General Hospital teasers for May 12th to 16th, Lois will scurry to put out fires while concealing Joe's parentage. Meanwhile, Kai Taylor will deal with the procedure and its repercussions. Will he be fine, or will he experience some paralysis? Whatever happens, Trina Robinson will be there to support him. Back with Nina, she and Portia Robinson may experience anxiety, as Drew investigates what happened after his previous incident. Drew believes he was drugged and suspects Tracy Quartermain, Nina and Portia, or someone from the hospital. The week of May 19th to 23rd, 2025 Nurses Ball Mayhem. Finally, the week of May 19th to 23rd will be dedicated to the 2025 Nurses Ball, so fans can expect plenty of red carpet fun, entertainment, and of course some drama. One amusing detail is that Cody and Molly Lansing Davis will be mistaken for a loving relationship, so fans may expect some discomfort and commotion along the road. Brad and Perry Shin's most recent appearance on General Hospital appears to be the last. We had a hunch it would come to this because Lucas appears to be blissfully moving on from his ex-partner Marco, and leaks this week revealed Brad making a life-changing decision. In the end, it appears like Portia overplayed her hand with the sometime lab tech. But that's only part of the story. We're guessing it's difficult to turn down $500,000. We suppose it was enough to persuade Brad not only to sell her out to Drew, but also to start a new life somewhere with far less drama than Port Charles. He appeared on today's program in a fancy new suit, told Lucas and Liz he was leaving, and went to HR to submit his resignation. But he didn't leave without leaving behind what we assume is a ticking time bomb. He gave Drew something before walking out into the sunset, and we believe it is going to blow apart Portia's life. Because Drew has said that he intends to destroy Portia and many others at the same time. He's thinking carefully about what to do with the information Brad provided. And Brad? He's probably dreaming of drinking drinks on an exotic beach. So goodbye, Brad. You might not have always made the finest choices, but you always kept us entertained. And honestly, we don't blame you for wanting to get out of Dodge before Drew's scheme comes to reality. We have a feeling it's going to turn even nasty than it already is, and the hospital could end up being ground zero for his revenge. General Hospital spoilers suggest that a Michael Corinthos recast may say 4 shocking words and blow apart Port Charles. According to social media leaks, a Michael recast is currently ongoing, so it's only a matter of time before he returns home fully recovered and with a brand new look. Of course, this may be an opportunity to change Michael's perspective as well. Michael may return with a stronger backbone and declare he will not cower in terror in the face of a probable custody battle. GH fans are aware that Sasha Gilmore Corbin has expressed anxiety about what would happen if Michael's adultery is uncovered. Michael's betrayal of his marriage vows by getting Sasha pregnant may come back to haunt him in court. Even so, Michael isn't the type of person to forsake his child. Sasha persuaded Michael that she wanted to raise this child on her own, but Michael's agreement did not feel natural. Things have changed anyway now that Jason Morgan is posing as the baby daddy, and the Quartermaines are eager to welcome Sasha's child into their family. Michael has enough money, power, and contacts to go up against Willow and even Drew Kane in the custody battle if necessary. It'd be good to see Michael say, "No more Mr. Nice Guy," and simply return home prepared to take care of the problem. Michael may decide that even if Willow lashes out at him for straying and getting Sasha pregnant, he is ready to fight back in court. You can bet Michael had plenty of time to think about things while he was recovering. Michael can't just step aside and not be involved in his youngest child's life, so Sasha best get used to the thought of him re-entering the picture. When Michael returns to the canvas, he may proclaim 4 surprising words that everyone will hear. "The baby is mine." Michael may return in recast form and change everything by disclosing the true paternity of Sasha's child. This might derail any love story that Sasha and Jason had been developing, so stay tuned for updates on Michael's shocking news and any predictions he may have regarding his family's future. According to General Hospital teasers, a Michael recast might provide drama to the stories he's involved in, and assist make some critical adjustments. Lois' defense of Geo tips off Lulu, and Emma confides in Joss about the real Professor Dalton. Wednesday, May 7, 2025. Today on General Hospital, Rocco apologizes to his grandma and parents, Christina tells Alexis she wants to move on, and a bartender makes a mistake that could reveal Ava and Rick's plan. At the beach, Joss and Emma continue to interact, and Emma admits Joss is not the person she recalls. Joss reveals that Dex's death has changed her and made her want to accomplish something meaningful, which is why she is working so hard in Dalton's classroom. Emma vows Joss to secrecy and informs Joss that she is on a mission. Dalton is not the guy she believes he is, so don't be fooled by his Australian accent. Emma reveals the true reason she got booted from Berkeley. She broke into Dalton's lab to prove he was testing on creatures other than rats. She was compelled to sign an NDA to avoid incarceration, so she is determined to get this research assistant position. What Dalton is doing is awful, and she must expose it and stop him. Joss gets a text from Vaughn and apologizes to Emma, but she needs to leave. Joss promises that if Dalton does something unlawful, he will be stopped. Emma tells Joss that talking with her tonight was surprisingly enjoyable. Joss fills Brennan in. At the WSB office, Vaughn informs Brennan that Joss saw Dalton at the Savoy with Anna of all people. Vaughn suggests that they may not have been discussing anything interesting, but Brennan does not believe in coincidences. Vaughn also adds that Joss witnessed Dalton enter a secure lab at GH with a briefcase and then leave without it. Brennan says they need to know what's in that lab, so how close is Joss to getting that done? Vaughn discusses Joss' plot to destroy Emma's work, and how they put it into action tonight. Joss soon arrives in Brennan's office, and Vaughn is present, but Brennan has left. Vaughn says he updated Brennan tonight, and Joss tells him Emma knows a lot more than they imagined. Brennan returns and finds out what Emma suspects Dalton is up to. He claims Anna can't know what's going on because she'll get in the way. Joss inquires about Brennan's expectations for her once she is hired for the research role. Brennan claims Dalton is working on a piece of technology with far-reaching implications, and many people are interested in what he is doing. The WSB wants it and expects Dalton to complete his studies. That's her job. He orders Joss to complete this operation and notify him if she spots Anna chatting to Dalton again. Christina wants to move forward. Christina questions why Ava and Rick are at her mother's house. Rick thinks his near-death experience has changed his perspective on life, and he and Alexis are attempting to improve their relationship for Molly's sake. Rick thinks he said everything he has to say, and he and Ava should get going. Christina informs Rick and Ava that she has been thinking a lot recently as well. She needs to let go of her rage at both of them. She tells Rick she needs to stop hating him for acquitting Ava and blaming her for her downfall. She wants to make peace and go on. Ava is taken aback and claims her uncle's accident has turned into a gift that keeps on giving. Ava and Rick depart and Molly returns home. She's startled to see Christina here. Alexis informs them that Scout is upstairs and asks them to put their anger aside for Sam's daughter, who is unaware of what is going on with her father. Molly notes on Drew's craziness in that video and suggests that he be committed. Alexis wishes she could explain why she did what she did. Christina adds that she came here tonight to try to move ahead, as they had lost so much. She cannot bear the thought of losing her mother, whom she adores, but what she did was unacceptable. Alexis states she was anxious that something was wrong and Christina was not sharing. She committed a mistake and she apologizes. Christina has made her fair share of blunders, and Molly proposes they all have breakfast tomorrow for Scout's sake. Christina promises she'll be here and leaves. Molly tells her mother that it will take time for both her and Christina to forgive her, then heads upstairs. Alexis fumes as she looks at the portfolio that Ava has given her. Laura checks up on Rocco. Laura pays Rocco a visit at the hospital and has her first meeting with Cody. Laura thanks him for getting Rocco to the hospital and keeping him company while his parents were away. Rocco awakens and sees his grandmother. Cody leaves them to discuss, and Laura questions Rocco about what happened. He admits that he did something stupid. Rocco claims he didn't go to the party to drink, but he did wind up playing a drinking game with some other males. He lost count of how much he had drank. Laura says she understands what it is like to be young and make errors. Rocco says he won't drink again. Laura jokes that they all make that pledge after their first hangover, and she'd be content if he waits until he's 21 before drinking again. Lois cries into Dante. Lois yells at Dante, claiming that he has no idea who Gio is. Dante claims to have observed Gio grow up since he was a newborn and is familiar with who he is. Lulu observes the confrontation from a distance, as Dante continues to rant about Joe's irresponsibility, which could have cost Rocco his life. Gio again claims he had no idea Danny and Rocco were at the party and drinking. Dante begins to rage at Lois, saying that she and Gloria have coddled Gio his entire life, and this is the result. Gio lacks the ability to take responsibility. Dante pledges to Gio that if he gave Rocco alcohol, he will make sure he faces prosecution. Lois exclaims that he never gave Rocco booze, and if he's going to play Mr. Detective, he should look into the facts first. Lulu ultimately intervenes, telling Dante to stop and that Rocco will be fine. Dante yells mainly because they were lucky. His only kid could have died tonight. Lois yells at Dante for being out of line, but Gio believes Dante is correct. This is his fault and Gio apologizes. The youngster flees and Dante instructs Lois to pursue him and make things better for him, just as she did throughout his life. Lois exclaims that at least Gio was there to aid Rocco, and she asks Dante where he was when his kid needed him. Lois believes Dante should be grateful that Gio was present. Most college students would have left an intoxicated youngster on the beach to sleep it off, but not Gio. She tells Dante that he has such a nice heart, and he should be ashamed for not recognizing Joe's good heart as well. Lois storms off. Dante notices Lulu's silence and asks if she feels he's being too hard on Gio. Lulu realizes he's afraid, as is her, but he went too far. Dante rants to Lulu about how Gio never learned responsibility because of Lois and Gloria. She claims he is a classical musician who lost his mother at a young age and had to adjust, which does not seem like someone who lacks discipline or is reckless. Dante resumes his rant on how Lois and Gloria spoiled and sheltered him more than any of the other children. Lulu inquires as to whether Brooklyn also protected him. Dante informs her that Brooklyn was a softie with all of the younger children, not just Gio. Elsewhere, Lois contacts her mother to tell her what occurred tonight, including how Dante yelled at his own son. She says, if only Dante knew. Dante and Lulu check on Rocco, who is still talking to Laura. Rocco apologizes for scaring them, and Dante confirms that they know. Laura has to leave, so Lulu walks her out. Ruko tells his father that he realizes what he did was dumb, and that he has every right to be angry with him. Dante says he's angry, but he's glad he's okay, and his love for him will always outweigh any anger he may have. He swears to never turn his back on him because he is his son. Outside, Lulu watches Dante with Rocco, and records a voice note to remember herself to find out where Lois was when Gio was born. Gio returns to the beach and discovers Emma still hanging out. He admits what occurred with Rocco tonight, and Dante believes he gave him the alcohol and is upset with him. He always thought he and Dante got along, but now he realizes Dante doesn't respect him at all. Drinks at the Brown Dog Bar. Brooklyn and Chase enjoy a drink at the Brown Dog Bar after playing pool. Chase believes that after their baby arrives, their date evenings will be a thing of the past, since they will be exhausted from diaper changes and late-night feedings. Brooklyn is looking forward to it. Brooklyn discloses to Chase that she told Tracy about her decision to give up her baby and why, and Tracy was very supportive. However, she does not reveal that Dante is the father since she does not want to burden her with the truth, as she did to him. Chase does not feel burdened by what he knows. He admits that he tried to persuade Dante that Lulu had gone too far, but it's difficult to do so without giving him everything he knows. It is up to her to decide who she tells about her child. They both acknowledge how fortunate they are to have each other. Cody interrupts, informing them that Rocco is in the hospital. Brooklyn steps out to call her mother, but she does not answer. She returns and asks Cody if he wants to join them, but he refuses to be a third wheel. Ava and Rick come and take a table. Ava initiates a transaction on her brand new, gleaming credit card. Cody goes to the bar and begins his own tab. The bartender unintentionally gives him Ava's card back, which he notices is not his. However, Cody has never seen a card like this before, given its thickness and weight. The bartender says they don't receive many of these around here and proceeds to return it to Ava. Lois enters, sits with Chase and Brooklyn, and tells them how Dante reacted angrily and blamed Gio for what happened to Rocco. She's furious with how Dante behaved. Brooklyn says Gio and Dante will get over it and wonders why this bothers her so much. On the next General Hospital episode, Dante confronts Jason and blames him more than Danny. Portia contacts someone to notify them to broadcast the news. Liz inquires of Isaiah at the hospital about his hiding place. Nina tells Curtis at Metro Court what it will take to get Drew out of there. Drew promises Tracy that he would ensure that whoever poisoned him is punished. Back in the infirmary, Lucas says, "What the hell just happened?" The audience isn't only interested in seeing who prevails. They want to know why these two are at odds in the first place. As the scenario nears its climax, the air is dense with expectancy. Will Dante finally find the answers he has been yearning for? Will Gio confess his actual intentions? Or will this confrontation only raise additional questions? Whatever happens, one thing is certain. The moment of truth has arrived, and nothing in Port Charles will be the same again. The fallout from this confrontation will surely impact the futures of both people. Dante may begin to question his instincts, especially if Gio proves to be more than he appears. Gio, on the other hand, may emerge from this confrontation with increased respect, or as a dangerous adversary. The writers have left plenty of room for twists, guaranteeing that the plot will continue after this long-awaited moment. This is what keeps General Hospital viewers coming back for more. The steady buildup of unsolved tension, the explosive conclusion, and the unanswered questions keep viewers returning for more. Dante and Joe's moment of truth exemplifies why soap operas are such a popular genre. They provide emotional, character-driven drama that keeps viewers captivated. As the show fades to darkness, one can't help but worry what will happen next. Will Dante and Joe's paths continue to intersect in explosive ways? Or will this showdown bring an end to their feud? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. General Hospital has once more demonstrated its capacity to keep viewers on the edge of their seats. The friendship between Dante and Gio exemplifies the show's skillful narrative. Even in a society full of medical emergencies, mob battles, and love entanglements, human conflicts remain the most powerful. Dante's conflict with Gio is about more than just arresting a criminal or solving a case. It's about trust, pride, and the extent people will go to defend what is important to them.